I'm so surprised I have not already done a video about this because retinol is one of my all-time favorite skincare ingredients. So today, I'm gonna tell you why you need it in your life. Okay, so I was thinking about it. Why haven't I done a video on retinol? And I think it's because 2018, I'm gonna officially dub 2018 as a year of really good over-the-counter retinols. I feel like retinol from like back in the day has really come a long way. Like last year, it was one of those things where it was like, I found one retinol that I like absolutely loved. And then suddenly I was like, wait, but this retinol is really good. Wait, this retinol is really good. And then somebody would tell me like, they love this retinol and this retinol. And it never used to be like that. It used to be one of those things where it was like, you just would go get a prescription for some retin-A and you would call it a day. And then you'd end up being like flaky all the time. And you'd have like sensitive skin and you'd be like irritated and you'd take a break from it. And then you'd go back to it because you loved it. And then you hated it and then you loved it. So there was like all this happening. And then you'd be like trying to test out over-the-counter retinols from all these different companies, and they just weren't doing it. Like they either weren't strong enough or they were too strong and you just felt really like your skin was flaky and sensitive. And I feel like somewhere in the past year or so, it's probably been a little bit longer, but last year I felt like was just a big boom of amazing over-the-counter retinols. And I think that's why this year I'm gonna like make sure you guys really know why it's so important to have. So in case you don't know what retinol is, I get this DM all the time on Instagram, like, what is retinol? Every time I'm like, I'm using this retinol tonight. People are always like, what is retinol? And what's the difference between retin-A? The difference between retinol and retin-A is retinol is over the counter. You can buy this at a store from lots of different brands. And then there's retin-A, which is by prescription only. So retinol and retin-A are both forms of retinoids. And retinoids are a form of vitamin A, which is an ingredient that promotes skin cell renewal and enhances collagen production in your skin. And in fact, it's one of the only ingredients, if not the only ingredient, that's really truly been proven to enhance collagen production. So it is kind of like the gold standard still. I've been saying that for years. And if you didn't know, collagen is what makes your skin look plump and youthful. And just like everything else when it comes to aging, we slow down our collagen production as we get older and we lose collagen in our skin. So, you know, when we're trying to like go and get filler in our face, a lot of the time we're just trying to replace that collagen that we used to have in our face. So that is why you want retinol. I mean, it's not the only reason why, but collagen is number one. Which leads me into the pros and the reasons why you want to use retinoids in your skincare routine. One, it's good for acne skin. So if you've got acne breakouts or you tend to get acne breakouts, retinoids are really, really great to stop that. It obviously clears your pores and that's why it is good for acne breakouts. It's awesome for anti-aging, obviously. That's why I love to use it. And four, it's good for hyperpigmentation. It helps clear your skin. It gives you just overall more youthful, brighter skin. Now, there are some cons to retinoids, and I go back to like, this is kind of where we go into like the prescription strength especially, but also the retinols that were over the counter back in the day. I haven't really encountered this lately, but you can get sensitive skin from it. It like increases sensitivity, especially to the sun. It can dry your skin out and give you flaky skin, so it can be very irritating for your skin. And you can't use it while you're pregnant at all because, you know, they don't really know what it does, but it's a strong ingredient. And last, if you use a really strong retinoid, then your skin can sometimes look worse before it looks better because it almost goes through like a shedding period. I think one of the most common questions I get about retinoids is when should I start using them? And the answer is it really kind of depends. If you're trying to prevent aging, which I think is actually really, really important, then I would start in my early 20s with a really gentle over-the-counter retinol. But if you've got acne and you've got really bad acne, then you should start as a teenager. You'll probably go to your dermatologist and they can really, they can prescribe it to you and they can help you out with how you're supposed to use it. But overall, for anti-aging and just clear skin, I say you start using it in your 20s and you don't stop. Ever. Like you just don't. Like you just increase your usage of it. One thing to keep in mind is not all retinols are the same or retin-A. The way it kind of works is like you can buy an over-the-counter retinol and it can be very gentle. It might not even have like a lot of retinol in it. You have to kind of just like do your research on what are the best retinols for your skin. I used to actually use a prescription strength retin-A, and obviously that is like the strongest, right? You're going for the prescription because you really want to attack something. And what I ended up finding was that I would get really, really flaky all the time. In this area especially, I would see a lot of flaking, and then eventually I started getting almost like a contact dermatitis because I was using it a little too often. I thought using it just like once a week would be totally fine for me, but it turns out it was just way too strong for me. And the way you want to work your way up is you want to be able to use it like every other day. If it's a gentle retinol, you want to use it every single night. The way that I use them is I use them only at night, and I put it on every single night after I've cleansed and toned my skin. I will use it like 4 days on, and then I'll take a couple nights off and not use it. And usually when I put retinol on my skin at night, I won't put anything else. Like that is usually all I end up needing, because all of the different retinols that I have actually help to like hydrate and moisturize your skin, and they're all really, really gentle. So ones that I put into my rotation, I definitely use a lot. Like I'm definitely consistently using them, and I feel like I've seen such a huge difference in my skin. Lately I've been hearing that people use their retinols during the daytime, like in the morning part of their skincare routine. I don't do that. Maybe it's because I'm old school and back in the day you just didn't. You didn't use retin-A, especially in the morning, because it's sensitive to sun. It almost makes it inactive. And retinoids make your skin very, very sensitive to the sun. So you wanna make sure you're wearing SPF and really protecting your skin if you're using something like a retinol. But nowadays, because of the way these new retinols are formulated, apparently you can go ahead and put them in your morning skincare routine. I just don't. I have a whole other thing that I do with my morning skincare routine. It's actually the most intense I get with my skin is during the morning routine. And then at night, I make it really, really simple. It's all about my retinol. Retinol is going to do everything that I want it to do. When it comes to retinol, I've been trying this one. It is from Amazon. I actually put up a video trying out different Amazon skincare products. This one had really great reviews. I've since realized what it was. This has 2.5% retinol in it. So it's actually a really strong over-the-counter retinol, but it doesn't really irritate your skin. But I did notice it dried my skin a little, so that's the one catch. And it's only $20. So if you're looking for a really good over-the-counter retinol, I highly recommend that you try this one out. There are so many to try, but this is a really good one. There are also retinol alternatives that are just as effective. And when I say that, like, I'm surprised when I still say that. They're just as effective as regular retinol. And back in the day, again, it never was like that. Whenever somebody was like, this is a retinol alternative, I'd be like, carry on, because it was never true. That was never ever, I never could find something that would compare to like my retin-A. And now I feel like it's a whole different story. So one retinol alternative to look into, especially if you're like breastfeeding or you're pregnant, this is something that you can actually use because it's a phytoretinol. It is by Biossance. I think this one is great. It's plant derived. You can put it on morning and night. I think this is one to look into because it's a really good one. I've been very surprised by this and I really, really like it. Next up is this one from Verso. I talked about this one so much last year because I loved it. And the funny thing is it sat in my skincare drawer for the longest time because I was like, I don't want to try an alternative to retinol. I don't want to try this one at all. And I was trying all these other retinols that were from different skincare brands, and they just weren't strong enough for me because I am like working my way down from like actually using a strong prescription retin-A to now using over the counter. So I ended up trying this out because I had read it had really good reviews. They have retinol, which is their own like proprietary ingredient. It's a derivative of vitamin A, and they don't really explain that much more about what it is. But it's their own form of retinol, essentially. I like this product specifically in their line. It's their super facial serum. It moisturizes your face, so again, I only put this on at night, and I feel like it gives me enough moisture that I need, and it does amazing things for my skin. I feel like my skin over the last few months has been my favorite in my 30s, so that tells you a lot. I've been using other products too. I've been doing other stuff, but this is my favorite when it comes to the retinol alternatives. This one from Ren, I didn't actually realize was a retinol alternative. They call it a bioretinoid. It's strong. This guy is really, really good. I think it's because it's also in an oil form, and I feel like oil can really make an active ingredient a lot stronger on your skin because it's a really good carrier for it. I use this one when I feel like my skin's just looking really dull. That's like maybe once or twice a month, I'll just put a couple drops on my skin and I'll go to sleep that night. And again, because it's an oil, I don't really feel like I need that much more. I could put like a moisturizer on top of it, and if my skin's feeling dry, I will do that. But this one works really, really well. I tried to use it for 4 or 5 days straight, and I ended up getting a little bit flaky. I didn't get sensitive, it didn't irritate my skin, but I did get a little bit flaky. So I stopped using it regularly because it's a touch too strong for me, but that doesn't mean it'll be too strong for some of you. So this is a really good option as well. If you're wondering how long it takes to see real results, I at least recommend using your retinol for a month. That goes for actually any skincare. If you're trying something out, use it for a month, even if it's like, you know, you start to notice things about your skin you don't like, as long as it's not like irritating your skin or making it very sensitive or red or giving you weird breakouts, if you just feel like you're seeing like skin cell turnover, like a little bit of flakiness and stuff, you should probably try to stick with that skincare product for at least a month, because that really gives you an idea if it's doing anything for your skin. And then to truly see real results, I would say wait at least 3 months. So that's my breakdown of retinoids. I really hope this is helpful. I tried to really simplify it so that you guys understand why I think it's so amazing. And I decided I'm gonna keep talking about retinol for the whole rest of the year on Instagram and here on YouTube and everything, because I do want people to adopt a retinol, even if it's an alternative to it, into their skincare routine, because it really will be the best thing that you add to your skincare routine besides vitamin C, and that's a whole other topic. I love vitamin C. But I hope that this is really helpful. Tell me in the comments below if you use a retinol or if you have a prescription for retin-A, what it's done for your skin, what you recommend for people. Let's get talking. Tell me in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.